Hello everyone, today I'm going to show you how I do Aurora nails with dual form and polygel. So these are 1 week after the manicure and you can see that they're growing out but holding strong. And some here, I did this one with hard gel and the rest of the fingers are polygel. As you can see, the polygel's transparency is not as good as the hard gel, but it is much easier to do polygel on yourself. So today I'm going to do it for you on my non-dominant hand. So I already filed this one off and I put dehydrator, primer, and then base layer and then cured it. So I'm going to start this one off with the polygel. So before we go into it, we have to choose the Aurora film that we're going to use. So I got this pack from eBay and I recommend using the film that has transparency quality. So 2 of my favorite here, I cut them off into small squares and put them into this holder here. So this one has a blue tint and orange sheen, and this one is pink but has a green tint, a green sheen to it. So I cut them into little squares and the films are ready now. And then you're also going to need 2 brushes. So one of the brush you're going to need to put base coat on it and then use that to shape your polygel. The reason we're using base coat instead of slip solution is because sometimes slip solution can make your polygel look cloudy and it's going to affect the transparency quality of the polygel. So that's why I'm using a base layer to make sure that my polygel stay transparent. And then the second brush, I'm going to use that to clean the cuticle when I push it out of the dual form. So I choose these dual forms for this finger already. As you can see that this one is so much bigger than my nail, but that's okay because the trick that I'm using is that I'm going to leave 1 to 2 milliliter of polygel on the edge of the dual form. That way, when I squish it onto my finger, it's not going to run to the side walls. Another trick that I like to use for this method is I soak my polygel in hot water, and that way the polygel is going to be more runny. So this is the polygel that I'm using. You don't have to use the same one. You can just use any clear polygel. So I'm going to now put some base layer onto the first brush. All right. And now I'm going to squeeze a little bit of the polygel. This one is new. I'm going to squeeze a little bit of the polygel on the dual form. So the amount of polygel depends on the size of your nail. So imagine yourself doing a polygel overlay and you want to use 70% of the polygel that you would use for overlay. So I put more base gel on my brush and then I'm going to shape it. Okay, so it doesn't have to be perfect. You just want the majority of the polygel go on the center here. And then you're going to pick up the film and place it at the center. And then you want to push the paper down to the polygel so that there's no bubble in between. And now if there is excess polygel running on the side, you can just flip it over on top of the Aurora paper. All right, now you're going to put the rest of the 30% of the polygel on the top. Okay, doesn't have to be perfect. And then using another brush, dip it into alcohol and just clean the side here. Okay, so this is what I'm going to place on my nail. I'm going to clean it. Now I'm going to flash cure it with a little LED flashlight. So this is just to secure the shape, make sure it's not running down the cuticle and side walls. Right, now it is cured. We're taking this one off. And now we're going to shape it. I'm just going to use a hand file to clean it. Alright, so now I have filed my nails and I check it from the side and I'm happy with the shape that I got. So the next step is to put on the Aurora powder. So this is the powder I got. And when we put it on, normally we would use a top coat and then rub the powder onto your nail and then use top coat again. But I don't like this method because what I find is when I sandwich the pigment in between two top coats, the top layer is going to peel after 3 to 4 days. So what I like to use is using the base coat first and then just rub off the tacky layer and then rub on this Aurora powder and then put top coat on. So let's clean my hand a little bit, and now we're putting on this base coat. And then cure it. So now I'm just going to grab a cut piece of kitchen towel and some rubbing alcohol and wipe off the tacky layer. Right. So when I put on the powder, I like to put it only on the places where you don't have the Aurora film. And that is because I find these powders being not very transparent. So in order to not make the entire surface cloudy, I'm just going to put it on the side of the nail. So that way the edge of the Aurora paper is blended into the rest of the surface. All right, this is how it looks. So now I'm taking the top coat . Let's have a look. So after putting on cuticle oil, you're done. Thank you for watching my video. I'll see you next time. Bye!